This is the story of 4 girls. They all live together in one flat, in one square, in one particular part of London. There is Anne, vivacious, confident, and in no hurry to get married. She's 26.
That's fine,
Hermione is 27. She's engaged to be married and apparently unperturbed by the prospect. Susan is 25. There's nobody special in her life at the moment, and only one boyfriend. Then there's Pat. Pat is 30, but she's made it. Right now she's packing her case to go away and get married and leave the flat forever. Pauline is one of the many girls who replied to the advertisement for a 4th girl to replace Pat. Susan is about to change jobs. For several years she worked as a secretary in a timber business, but eventually boredom got the better of the longing for security. For her, like so many of London's bachelor girls, life is a pretty humdrum round of shuttling between a dull job and a dull private life. Evening is the time of expectancy. This is not to say that the evening is a time of wild excitement. On the contrary, the chances are that they, like you, will sit transfixed in front of the television or quietly sewing by the fire like the well-brought-up girls they are. The foundations of this kind of life were carefully laid at good schools and in comfortable homes, and are not to be lightly discarded for the first man who comes along. In fact, and this may surprise parents and boyfriends alike, the 3 of the girls claim to lead lives of unexampled chastity. Only Pauline, in the privacy of her own room, will admit to a life a shade less sheltered. This evening she's going out to meet a boyfriend who's flying over from Paris. Robin is Susan's boyfriend at the moment. He has good reason to praise the system because Susan cooks him 2 or 3 good meals a week. He comes round, eats the meal, watches television for a while, and then goes home. He's full of approval of Susan's chosen way of life.
I think it's much better for girls to sort of move into a flat with other girls and get to know those girls' friends. And 3 girls living together, they can, well, afford a much better flat.
Susan spends most weekends in the comfortable subtopia of Sevenoaks with her parents and her young sister Rosalind. But Mr. and Mrs. Burgess think it a good thing that she should live in town.
Well, I think if they're old enough, they're over 21, reasonably responsible, I think so. I think it gives them a taste of the independence they long for.
For flat dwellers, the party is the means of social communication. It provides the only satisfactory medium for introductions, the only acceptable marriage market. Girls who would snub a man in the street will gladly spend the evening and perhaps even the night with him at a party. Morning also means ridding the mouth of the stale taste of yesterday, because yesterday holds very little when you're 26 and the world and a husband are still, at least in theory, at your feet. The flat world is a small world, and the life it compasses is necessarily only for a while. In due course, Anne and the others will exchange the routine of the flat for the routine of marriage. If it were not for this, the morning face might be more depressed than it is, the fears for the future more realistic or more frightening.